Spencer, a narrow 1-0 defeat here at Salisbury. Can I get your reaction?
Look, it was a vast improvement on Saturday, but we still lost. So you have to appreciate the obvious. I thought we did the game plan really well for the vast majority of it. The first time they get in our box, 30th minute they score. It's a crap goal. It shouldn't be getting in from there. And they've had one other chance, but we've had the best chance of the half, 1-1. Mason's apologised. I thought it was a really even game. I thought the change of shape then we made, I thought we got on top. They were making subs. Yeah, they've had a couple of chances right at the end because we're absolute gun-ho. We've given everything today. We've absolutely given everything. And I'm sort of gutted for them because we just didn't have enough quality in the box, didn't have an awful lot off the bench attacking-wise. Don Polian messaged me first thing this morning, was home with a fever, which is just sort of sums us up at the moment. As I said, much better, but we've still lost. So it's a very disappointed dressing room because we know we're in the results business, and sadly we've come up still just a bit short.
You handed Teddy his first start today. A bright spark for us today in midfield.
Look, generally there was nothing in the game. You know, we nullified them. I thought we had our moments. We deliberately made it a difficult game. So the game plan worked well. We changed the shape. We were positive at the start of the second half. We changed it again and we went at them. Didn't create a lot in the second half, to be fair, but it was an even game. It was decided by a rubbish goal from our perspective again. And we haven't taken the best chance of the game. And, at the end, we've just fallen just short. I said in isolation, you go 1-0 away defeat and it was an even game. You turn around and say, you go again. Obviously, at the moment, we're in an awful rut. But we've got to remain positive. I've got to remain positive. Look, anyone that was here today saw that we put in a hell of a shift today. It was so much better. There were pluses, as you say, lots of pluses. And when you consider, we didn't have Dom today, obviously what's happened to Ollie, it's tough at the moment. Everything that can go against us is. But if we apply ourselves like we have today moving forward, it will turn.
And of course, it comes down to those fine margins. We didn't seem to get a lot from the referee today. Is that the way it's going at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to make that excuse. I thought it was awful. I thought it was an absolute homer. The decisions he was giving them, the stoppages at the end, I mean, it was laughable. The guy's pretty much sitting down and having his dinner, and eventually he books him, and then he only adds on the 1 minute. I mean, it's just ridiculous. There were 6 subs, a 3-minute stoppage for Jack Turner. Look, it's the way it goes at the moment. Let's not make excuses. Yeah, he was very poor, and he'll be written up for it. He thinks he was great. But at the end of the day, I said, it's important that the players, and I hope the fans in isolation, that was better. It was better. There wasn't a lot of quality. We set it up that we could get Ryan on, who was really our only attacking sub for the last 25 minutes to try and create. Couldn't really get him into the game. But as you say, we're so young. I thought Teddy's full debut was really good. I thought Louis came in and settled in quite well. We were at a 3 and we were really solid. It's just a really poor goal. He's slipped inside. And no one's picked him and it's gone through legs and Jack can't get down to it. So, we lose to that. They've had 2 attempts in the first half, and we've had 3 or 4 and the best chance. So it is those small margins, but we have lost, stating the effing obvious. And, we've got to halt that, I'm not happy with certain elements of it, but there were, again, compared to what we served up on Saturday, it was chalk and cheese, and the players, I think the whole group deserve credit for that. Credits now, we've got to turn this into results.
And you brought in Louis Holtzman on loan from Eastleigh. How's that one come about?
Yeah, I got the tip off about a week ago. It's the one I referred to. We've had to argue tooth and nail for money, as I said. Ollie, we've been working on Ollie Hogben for a month with Charlton because we couldn't afford it. And Charlton, who are great support to us, they're tough on the money and you just can't make this up at the moment. We were due to let a couple go out on loan and Ollie comes in and within 45 minutes he's done a grade 2 hamstring. It's so not only have we got to pay them, we've got to keep another one that we've got to pay. And it's what happens when things aren't going your way, and it certainly isn't going our way. We desperately needed Dom here today. We needed the striker. We've lost Teddy. We didn't have Dom, but we didn't quite do enough. But I'm proud of our effort. We put in a hell of a shift today. It just wasn't quite enough.
And what's your message to the fans ahead of a home game against Maidenhead on Saturday?
Well, look. those that made the trip, and I'm very grateful, you know, the players got a good round of applause at the end there, and rightfully so. There was nothing in that game. As you said, it was a small margin game. We need them to stay with us. It's tough. You know, we're playing full-time teams. I mean, look at here, behind us here, we've got, you know, the Kuwaiti nationals here, you know, that are pumping money left, right and centre into it. And you saw what they could bring off the bench. You know, 4 strikers, and I've got sadly one at home with the flu. And, you know, Teddy's gone more local, etc. So it is difficult at the moment. And I served up total rubbish last Saturday. I'm not looking at it. I'm not going to accept that from fans. I'm not going to accept it from the team or me. And we are dealing with it, but it's tough. So we desperately hope they come and support us. Look, Maidenhead, another full-time side, right towards the top of the league. I don't know the results tonight. Alan Devonshire, and, you know, a national league side that's come down. It's not going to get any easier, but it doesn't help if, you know, they turn on, well, anyone really. I mean, they can turn on me. It's not going to make any difference at the moment, turning on me. It just sort of riles everybody up. But, you know, they know that we've had 10 really good years here, quite frankly. And this is tough. This is as tough with everything going against us. This is tough. And the loyal ones, and there have been many, many loyal ones that have come up to me in the last few days, starting again tonight, saying, you know, it'll turn, we're with you. And yeah, there'll always be the vocal ones that want to give it. But we need them. We need their support. You know, I need their support. You know, this isn't easy, but we're battling against the odds. Everything's going against us. But if we stick together, it will come in. It's very early in the season, and I think you saw a really good reaction from us tonight. You know, this is a very well-funded side here, and the reality is that we fell just short. So hopefully they'll turn up on Saturday, and we know it's going to be another tough game. The next run of games are horrific on paper. Hopefully Billy Clifford's only another 2 or 3 weeks away. You know, obviously we've now lost Oliver. You know, John Anunga's hopefully having the cast off next week. You know, and we'll have to bring in 1 or 2, and 1 or 2 will have to go out because, you know, it's a battle on the finances. But you know, the lads that came today put in a hell of a shift, and I hope everyone turns up Saturday and really gets behind us. And if we can apply ourselves like we did today and stick to the game plan well and find that little bit of quality at the right moment, then you know, we've got every chance.
Okay, thanks Spencer, and good luck for Saturday.
Thanks very much, guys.